Hi, I'm Richard Newton, the Managing Director of Fresh Learning, and welcome to our first video blog on the subject of stress. Stress itself is something that we have in our lives, and contrary to popular belief, is actually something that can be both positive as well as negative. In fact, if you look at the dictionary definition of the word stress, there's actually two aspects to it. Eustress, which is EU and the word stress, which is the positive form of stress that we all have to feel in order to allow us to complete those things that we wish to achieve and to actually live our everyday lives as a positive, friendly and happy human being. We also most definitely have distress. Distress is the negative aspect of stress, when the stress becomes too great and forces us to a position where we feel the undue effects of that stress itself. The key thing that we have to do is to bear in mind that there are these two aspects of stress. And people these days are very apt to say, and very quick to say, that stress itself is something that should be avoided. However, in recent research that's been done by the Stanford Research Institute in the US, it's been very clearly shown that actually those that experienced a positive high level of stress were more prone to not having high blood pressure, cardiac events and other adverse effects of health that are usually linked to stress itself. And so therefore the research is pointing to the idea that realistically we can live in a high stress environment and actually get a positive result for our health from it simply by taking control of that stress and feeling that it is a positive part of our lives. Stress itself is a big area and something that does affect a large number of people. In the UK, for example, the UK's Health and Safety Executive estimate that up to 70% of visits to the family doctor or GP are as a result of undue levels of negative forms of stress. And so, how can we tackle stress? Well, one way is actually to recognise that it exists. By knowing that the stress is there, it can help us to be able to realistically deal with it. And the great mind of business and management, Stephen Covey, wrote about this when he wrote about the idea of circles of influence and circles of concern. And this theory definitely is something that we can apply to stress management in our day-to-day working lives. His theory is simple. We have two circles, one inside the other, one of which are those things that cause us stress that we can actually have influence over. The other one is the list of things that we have that cause us stress that we can't necessarily have influence over. Covey's theory is that by making it very clear within our list of overall stresses, those overall things that cause us stress, what we can actually make a positive start about and actually recover and actually work on versus that which we cannot personally affect. And his concept is that we essentially build up that list of things that we can affect a change over with key actions that we can use in order to enhance those areas versus concentrating solely on those areas where we can't actually have an effect. And so, by concentrating on the things that we can have an effect on, the overall levels of stress can be reduced. This is definitely a theory that lots of people find useful. And I suppose the easiest way of working this through is not really to be concerned about the concept of the circles, the idea of the circles themselves, but to be more really concentrated on those areas that are currently causing you stress. And so, the activity I would recommend is to basically get a blank sheet of paper and make a list of every single thing that's causing you stress at that particular moment in time, or, if you're doing it today, at this particular moment in time. Once you have that list, look at it and ask yourself the question with each of those items: is it something that I can have influence over, or is it something that I don't have influence over? If it's something you can have influence over, that then can form part of an action list of things that you can do to help to remove that stressor or to view that stressor in a positive light. By concentrating on that list, we'll reduce the overall level of stress that we feel and therefore hopefully feel more in control. For this and many more tips, visit freshlearning.eu, where we'll have some information around stress on our blog. You can also watch various videos that we've created with information about assertiveness and about other areas. You can also, of course, contact us for more information about the courses that we offer, either direct to you in your place of work, or alternatively, remote, distance and online learning options that we have shortly available to you. Thanks for watching.